Alright guys, so some of you have asked me to discuss the controversial bill that the GOP is proposing in response to Roe v. Wade being overturned, in which they're trying to be consistent about the idea that life begins at conception. So much so that they've proposed a bill that would make would-be fathers pay child support from conception.
The idea is to make child support available as an award by a court for a mother during pregnancy and even retroactively after the baby is born.
Alexandra McPhee with Concerned Women for America talking about the Unborn Child Support Act. If a mother wishes to receive support and the father does not comply, the legislation requires judges to consult with moms on payment plans and mandates that all paternity tests be done at the discretion of the mother. James Lankford is one of the senators that introduced the bill, saying, quote, dads need to step up and provide for their kids. So if this bill were to become law, how would you as a group measure success for it? How would you say, oh, this bill is doing the job, or this law is doing the job we set out for it to do?
We define success based off of the principles behind the bill, promoting family formation, recognizing that life begins at conception, and including fathers in the conversation in a way that they aren't.
Now this bill has a long road before it becomes law, and with the current makeup of Congress, it would require support for Democrats, but that would also require Democrats to acknowledge that life begins at conception. Reporting in the newsroom, I'm Andy Weber, KOCO 5 News.
Yeah, so a lot of people are finding this proposal from the GOP to be controversial, and I'm going to tell you up front, I agree with it in principle. However, I think I disagree with it when it comes to how it will actually be executed and how much women would try to take advantage of this, considering how the bill is currently written, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you why I agree with it in principle. I agree with it in principle because, yeah, first and foremost, it does uphold the idea that if life begins at conception, then you actually have to treat that fetus as a person, okay? Which means that, you know, the father should take care of the fetus as if it is actually born, as if it is actually a baby, which is what conservatives who are pro-life have said the whole time, right? So I think that conservatives generally agree with this. They're like, this is not really a gotcha like the left is trying to make it out to be. It's just more of a, no, we agree with this, right? Fathers should take care of their kids, including the unborn, right? Fathers should take care of their kids. And when you have something like this in place, it is consistent with the idea that life begins at conception. So they should be treated and supported as such, and marriage, okay, which I strongly believe you should not have a child with somebody unless you are married or at the very least engaged, right? You shouldn't have a child with somebody unless you have some type of commitment towards them to promote having a healthy nuclear family, okay? So with that being said, in principle, I agree with the bill, even though it does have some implications that I really don't want to talk about and I don't have time to get into for this video. So now I want to tell you why I disagree with it in terms of how it will be executed, because in the bill, right, it says that first of all, mothers can demand back pay, right? So that means that fathers will have to issue back pay for not paying child support while the mother was pregnant, okay? And then two, on top of that, it says that paternity tests will be at the discretion of the mother. And that right there is a no-go for me, because I think that maternity tests have to be mandatory for a bill like this to even be considered. And this is the reason why. Take a look.
Another bag. I can't with you and your foolishness. Oh my God. You are one silly man, I tell you. Oh my God, what is this? Oh man, duct tape, really?
They ran out.
You're such an amazing rapper.
They ran out. I'm sorry.
An envelope? What could this be? What could this be? It's not shaking. It's not my necklace, I don't think. Let's open this up. Ooh, it feels kind of thick, okay? Hold on, it may be. Pape? This better be a ticket to Dubai for 2 weeks straight, round trip. Because you know I've been wanting to go to Dubai.
Open it up. Yeah, read it.
What is this?
You know what it is? I just want you to know that I know. Nevaeh is not mine. She's not my daughter.
Why did you do this tonight out of all nights? Why?
Because I wanted you to know that I know Nevaeh is not mine. I've had doubts.
What
So with that
doubts?
DNA test, Nevaeh is not mine. She's not my daughter.
Why would you do this? She loves you though. Why would you do this?
She's not my daughter. Why would you do this? Why would you cheat?
I didn't cheat.
Why would you cheat on me?
I didn't.
That's proof right there. DNA test. Nevaeh is not my daughter.
But babe, really? Out of all days, you had 3 years to give this to me. Now you want to give this to me?
All right, well, listen. You and Nevaeh got to the end of the month to get out of my house.
You're kidding, right?
I'm not kidding.
But
You
that's your
and
daughter.
your daughter had to the end of the month to get out of my house.
But that's
Kelly.
your daughter.
It's not my daughter, Kelly.
Yes, it is.
Paperwork says it's not my daughter.
Why would you do this?
I am not the father.
No. Stop, babe. Can we just talk? Get the camera on my face. Can we just talk? Get it?
Nah, bro, ain't nothing to talk about. Ain't nothing to talk about. You gotta go ASAP. You and your daughter got to go. You gotta go because it ain't mine, right? Now, in all transparency, this video is not real, right? It's a skit, okay? But the point of the skit is to bring attention and awareness over paternity test, okay? And this right here, even though the video is not real, it is a real life situation, okay? And the reason why I use the video is because it gave me an entertaining way to talk about this Republican bill that is currently being considered and why I'm against it in regards to the way it's currently written and in practice. Because of situations like this, okay, that are real life situations. Even though this skit is fake, it is a real life situation that does happen a lot more often than you think, and we're going to get more into that. Again, can you believe you have women that's in the comment section of this video, right, where I found it at, that are literally trying to defend this, right, trying to make this woman seem like a victim, okay, as this person says, okay, nope, this is not an appropriate means of informing someone of something that's significant. He is wrong. You don't wrap it up like a present on the child's birthday. There are mature ways of bringing this to her attention, and this is not it. This is childish on his part. Yeah, it wasn't childish to go out here and sleep around with another man, right? But childish to confront this woman in a way that she was really going to feel the pain in regards to having a child with another man, right? Sleeping around with another man and then making this guy play the role as father, right? Which is, again, why I am against that GOP bill as it stands right now, because the language is not strict enough, okay? The language is not strict enough. Do you guys know that out of all men that take paternity tests, 1/3 of them are negative, right? Which means that 1/3 of men that take paternity tests, they're not the father, right, of the kid that they're taking a paternity test for, of the child in question. And up to 1 out of 25 fathers are not the actual father, okay? Almost 4% of men are not the fathers of the kids they're taking care of, that they think they're the biological father of. Again, this is why paternity testing has to be mandatory as soon as it's available, right? Which I think you can get it at like 9 weeks pregnancy, okay, without harming the baby or the mother, okay? So it should be required at that point, right? It should be mandatory at that point. The woman, before asking for any child support payments, before being given any child support payments, should have to have paternity tests to prove that the father is the actual biological father, okay? Before any money is issued, before she receives anything, okay? Because some of these states out here, man, they loosey-goosey with who they consider to be fathers, right? For example, states like California that considers any man to be a father who puts himself out there as one, okay? Or that is named the father. For example, there was a crazy case in 2010 where the California Supreme Court refused to review a court decision for a homeless man, Harry Wilburn. Way back in 1991, Wilburn was named as the father of a 5-year-old child, even though he was never properly informed by the state. He was subsequently ordered to pay child support, despite the fact that a 2008 paternity test excluded him as a possible father and that he never acted as father to the child. The court stated that the mother was entitled to back child support payments in the tens of thousands of dollars. Yeah. So again, mandatory paternity test, right? I don't care because again, I support the concept in general. In general, I support the concept. However, again, in practice, we have to have that mechanism there. And look, these Republicans, man, y'all can't be out here trying to absolve women of responsibility, okay? Because that is kind of what this is. I mean, the court system is already stacked against men, and then you're adding this on top of that. I mean, child support for unborn children, okay? Which, again, I don't disagree with in principle, but we got to add some mechanism in there that takes power away from the woman, right? Because the woman has all the power once they get pregnant, okay? They got all the power in the world. So at the very least, we need to make sure that the man that she's trying to get to pay her, right, to support the child that she's carrying, we need to make sure that that is actually the biological father and that she just can't be naming the person that she thinks is the biological father, even though she slept with like 20 different men, right? Like this woman right here, okay, who is not even smart enough to, you know, use a condom, right? Or to make sure she doesn't get pregnant by another man that she's cheating on her guy with, right? Making this poor man take care of a child that's not his. And these modern women on the internet want to get mad about it because this guy is like, nah, I'm not trying to support a child that's not mine by a woman that cheated on me with other people, right? Went 3 years and pretended like, oh, it's definitely my kid. Probably still cheating to this day, okay? As this person says, y'all are so vile. I'm convinced you don't see women as real people. No, I don't see that woman as a real person, right? Not in that situation. Because again, you don't have a conscience of a real person to put a man through something like that, right? This person says, I genuinely don't understand the point of waiting for 3 years, especially since children form emotional attachments in the first 18 months. If a man's been having doubts for that long, why not get it down right then and there before the daughter is like attached at the hip? Hey, I agree, which is exactly why we need mandatory paternity tests. So again, it's situations like this that I see as reasons why that bill needs some improvement, right? Mandatory paternity tests. We should make that a thing before any child support payments are issued, to be quite honest with you. Again, we should punish women who sleep around with a bunch of different men and can't really figure out who the father is. If you can't figure out who the father is, you can't track down who the father is, right? Because you slept with so many different dudes, right? You can't figure out which one's the biological father. Maybe you deserve to suffer the consequence of not having financial support. Because a lot of these women, they aren't even using child support to take care of the child. They're using child support to go out here and to take care of themselves, right? To drink, to buy bags for their new car, for a bunch of stuff that ain't got nothing to do with actually taking care of the child. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.